that transition over to Vegas. Just what's your overall thoughts on your boxing journey and how everything's been so far?
Oh man, it's been a great journey. You know, I'm still climbing to the top. Coming from a small town in Muskegon, Michigan, to Las Vegas, Nevada. You know, it's kind of been surreal because I did it all by myself with no help, no direction. You know, I just followed my heart, following my dreams, and just making everything happen. So things have been going great.
And, you know, seeing the fact that you've had great performances back to back, and you've been getting more attention in the division, do you feel like your opponent that you're facing is your toughest opponent up to date? Or I mean, it's cliche because you haven't been in the ring with him, but on paper, would you say that this is going to be the toughest fight? Yeah,
I would say so. You know, extremely tough fighter. He's beat a lot of top guys. This is going to be an extremely tough fight to win, you know, and I expect to go out there and be the best version of myself. And I believe if I do that, I'm not only capable of winning, I'm capable of dominating the fight. So that's the ultimate goal. Go out there and just be right, Salim.
And with the training preparation, was there anything added differently or done a little different this time? Or?
Not really. You know, every training camp is semi the same. You know, you kind of tweak a little bit of this, tweak a little bit of that, tighten this up, and you know, so yeah, you know, the grind is the same. The grind is the grind. You know, that don't stop. So we just we ready to put on a show.
And obviously, you know, not looking past your opponent, but you know, there's some big names that the guys have been attached to, like a Fulton or an MJ. Are these guys obviously that you want, and is there one specific that you?
Yeah, 100%. You know, after this fight, my ultimate goal is to be the mandatory to fight for a world title. You know, so whether that's a Stephen Fulton, Ahmadallia, whether we fight or they vacate, it doesn't matter. I want the world title fight next.
What do you think of them as a fighters? You know, just as future opponents.
Oh, well, I think they're both world champions. I think they're both great fighters. Ahmadallia, southpaw, hard hitter, great fighter. Stephen Fulton, more technical, boxer, great fighter. You know, I can't say enough about the guys. They earned it, and you know, it's my job to take it away from them. And if given the opportunity, or when I have the opportunity, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
It's also a guy that's about flirting in your division that may be coming up real soon, Inoue. Many people feel that he's one of the best fighters in the world. Would you invite the Inoue fight?
Well, you know, I'm ready to fight anybody, you know. So if Inoue comes to 122 and we fight for a world title or whatever, then yeah, 100%. Like, it doesn't matter who they put in front of me. I'm ready to go out there and get what I believe is mine, and that's the world title.
Absolutely, and the fact that there may be a world title opportunity for the main event going on with Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz, the winner of that. I know you're probably excited right after you get your fight. You're probably going to grab some popcorn yourself and see heavyweights thrown on. What's your thoughts on that main event?
Oh man, that's going to be a good fight. You know, King Kong, you know, Ortiz, he's a little bit older, but man, he can fight. You know, like he beats Wilder if he doesn't get stopped late. You know, it's gonna be a great fight. And then, you know, Ruiz, you know, beat Joshua. You know, I know he's hungry to get what he once had. You know, so that's gonna be a great fight. I'll definitely tune in for that fight after mine.
You think the winner of that should go after Wilder gets past Robert Helenius?
Yeah, I think that that's a good lineup. You know, the winner should most likely, yeah, get that fight. I don't know who's. I mean, yeah, we got to see how Wilder bounces back from you know, that Fury fight. So that'd be another one to tune in for.
And seeing the fact that, you know, you haven't taken a loss professionally, you know, you've done some amateur fights and maybe even sparring, maybe just had a bad day. But when it comes to a professional loss like Wilder, what do you think a fighter needs to, I guess, come from, you know, a tough loss like against the Fury, and then just what does a fighter do to reset? Oh,
well, you know, if you're previously undefeated and you get beat by a guy, then you need to watch that film and pick yourself apart. You know, if you're fighting with your hands low, if you need to use more head movement, more defense, you know, that's what you do. You can't just go into the next fight doing exactly what you used to do, because people catch up. You know, people learn, so you have to consistently adapt to what's going on, to your surroundings and everything like that. That's what I believe. You know, it's just like you get dropped in a fight, but you still win. It's like, okay, well, I can't. That shit can't be happening. I gotta keep my hands up more. I got to work on defense more. You know, so it's something like that.
And seeing the fact that you know, Wilder is probably great for boxing and has that exciting punch knockout. Do you expect a knockout in the Wilder versus Helenius fight?
Man, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, that's Wilder isn't the most fluent boxer. You know, if he can get you out of there early or late, that's his best bet, because when it comes down to the cards, he might not be on top.
And then before I let you go, just wanted to get your thoughts on do you have any like up and coming fighters that you're a fan of, or some fighters that we haven't heard of that just may have be on the horizon, seeing the fact that you're already getting close to the top of your division? Is there anyone else that we should be keeping an eye on?
I mean, nobody that I really feel comfortable saying, but you know, there's a bunch of up and coming guys that are like, you know, definitely going to be some exciting fighters. You know, the new champions and everything like that. But I don't really want to put that out there right now. You know, but there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. You know, they're coming.
When the time's right, you will throw their names out.
Oh yeah. You know, I've sparred them. You know, great sparring. You know, I helped them out. They helped me out. You know, so yeah, it's all love. You know, it's all about trying to get better.
I mentioned the sparring, just curious, just not talking about the stories itself, but who would you say is like some of the best people you sparred with just throughout your professional career?
Oh man, well, it's been so many, but you know, Nonito Donaire, Jesse Magladeno, Diego Magladeno, you know, kind of, you know, the list goes on. It's been a kind of a bunch of guys. You know, I don't really keep track, but you have one of the good things about living in Las Vegas, Nevada, there's a lot of current world champions, former world champions, a lot of great fighters coming through Las Vegas, a lot of great up-and-comers, top amateur national fighters, you know, so you can go to any gym and, you know, really get some work in. So you got to make sure you're bringing your A game, because they might put you down, you know. So that's one of the perks of living in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Well, you know, you represent the Midwest very well, and everyone's excited to see your fight coming up, you know, on the Ruiz Ortiz versus Ruiz card. And any last message or words to the fans out there that's going to be tuning in?
Tune in September 4th, you know, it's going to be a great fight, great show, and I look to show up and show out, get the win.
Awesome. Appreciate it, champ.
All right, thank you. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I recently got in the Vegas area. I was covering out in New York, so you'll probably see me a lot more. I work with FightHype, so.
That's what's up.
Thanks for the time, man. Have a good workout.
Steady. Thank you.
What's it? We go to.
Tell me Did you already get the Wi-Fi? What's up, man? How are you, man? Good to see you, Donnie. I'll see you. That's everything. It'll be a fun night. You already know.
Hey, I'm sorry, babe. I'm here.
Okay, fine.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm here. I'm doing I was doing the interview, but yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that. I should have texted you. I appreciate it. Love you, bud.
Mingo the same. That's part of their on the breeze. So right now, paradise.
We don't want to make
I got it. Yeah, you got the Wi-Fi.
I think
if you cut that shit, that's too far. That's left. That's real for you. Like, you go all the way down like this, and then you go like this. And then you go like this, and that's when you get this shit. Because like this, cut right down, but then you're going to have to go to that. Make a left, and be a big chicken and shit.
I mean, I read that. Oh, beautiful. It's great. We'll talk to them. Yeah. In case you don't feel like it's hey, what's up, Bobby? Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, always. I didn't do that. Sure. You guys come, Bobby? Huh? I need to get rooms, names, Greg Hanning, you, him, Ruiz. Right? Andrew Gray.
I'm setting up right now. I'm about to be on.
Yes.
There's no discussion, no time out. It's only you.
Alright, stop pointing that thing. See me in the tape.
How do you find yourself as a boxer?
I just grab my boxing. I don't care to have that.
We're starting with the streaming information about
Oh, once you get in there, put me into it. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out.
I just don't double up. It's not really a lot of stuff. It's only for me, so I just do
This BT don't know connected right now.
No, I don't see him. Yeah, so we're gonna. Me and Sean are different Wi-Fi's. He's on the gyms, and I'm on Cox. The Cox one's okay, so we just have a backup in case we get started.
It'll probably be better Saturday, Sunday. Try to come back to Sunday.
Yeah. So. Alright. Also, just real quick, just do you think they didn't announce the top rank fight? This is the squad analysis fight. Yeah, so I'm just trying to use my time wisely. Like, I'm not sure I go back to them. I'm like, fuck it. If I don't see them, like, I know I ain't gonna get nothing. So it's just. Yeah, I'm still probably gonna go Friday because we're gonna leave next week. So I'm like, look, y'all you can't film me, and probably like they just give it to us so that when it does drop, we drop it. So, alright. Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Cool.
It means you can play boxing. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good Spanish, by the way. Thank you.
I know. You didn't even notice about it, but we gotta do these. Yeah, well, we gotta do these. It's easy pickup. So. All right.
Let's go. You're gonna talk to Ray for 4 or 5 questions. Then you're gonna work out, just like shadow boxing. That first you'll be 10 minutes back. Then a second round of questions, and then we'll be good. And so we're gonna come with Mario over there to the thing where
You want to put on the book, right?
yeah.
Come in.
Yeah, you shadow box. Alright, cool.
If he wants to do any of with the hitting and stuff, he can put on his gloves to do it. But if not, you guys with me?
Yeah, we go. Yeah, 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. All right. Shadow box,
Alright, it'll be like 3 because we're starting the stream in like
Around the ring.
You're gonna be in the ring.
Right.
This time around,
Yeah, good.
Hey, bro.
This is better.
His assignment on Sunday, September 4th on FOX Sports PBC Pay-Per-View will be none other but the unified heavyweight champion of the world, Andy the Destroyer Ruiz Jr. Crypto.com Arena in downtown Los Angeles. Tickets are available. AXS.com. It is presented by FOX Sports and Fortified Promotions. Also, Ruiz Jr will take on Mike Planium in a matchup in the super bantamweight division, a collision between two top 10 122-pounders. That will encompass two of what we have a dynamic night of boxing. We will start off on FS1 with Ruiz Jr taking on Mike Planium. That'll be at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time. Then we'll transition to Fox, where we have a matchup between two unbeaten super welterweights as Joey Spencer will square off against Kevin Salgado. Then we transition to pay-per-view. To begin the pay-per-view, we have the rising lightweight sensation Jose Valenzuela, who looks to remain undefeated as he takes on the former world champion Jezreel Corrales. Then the return of the 3-division world champion Abner Mares returns to the ring for the first time in 4.5 years. He'll take on Miguel Flores, no relation to me. The co-main event will be Isaac Cruz in the lightweight division. He's been making a ton of noise. He'll be in action as well. You do not want to miss that. His adversary that very evening will be Eduardo Ramirez. Going to be a battle, and then that takes us to our main event in the heavyweight division between Andy Ruiz and Luis King Kong Ortiz. And I believe we are joined alongside by Ruiz Jr, who's getting ready to work out. It is great to see Ruiz Jr, who's training here in Las Vegas. He looks like he's already prepared and ready to go if he needed to fight today or tomorrow. Ruiz says we are 2.5 weeks away from your matchup against Mike Planium. You're ranked top 10 in the world at 122. So is he. What are your thoughts going into this major fight for you? You were an interim champion before, but now that's been dispelled. So now you have to work your way up again in the contender ranks. But top 10 ranking, taking on Mike Planium, big fight for you.
Oh, huge fight. I'm excited. It's going to be very electric, fighting on a huge card. I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity. The fight itself is going to be electric, I'm fighting for the #1 spot again. I can't wait, and I'm going to put on the show, I just want to go out there and be the best version of myself and make it all happen. I got the vision for it. I've grinded for it, and everything's coming together. We're ready for fight time.
He's won 11 straight. Do you like the fact that he has momentum in? He's 25 years of age. He says that he's following the footsteps of his hero, Manny Pacquiao. He's a Filipino descent. That you're going to be taking on the best version of Mike Planium possible?
That's great. I wouldn't want it any other way. I want to fight all the top fighters. All the top fighters in my division. I want to be a world champion. That is my ultimate goal. And in order to get there, you have to fight the top guys. So the fact that he's won 11 straight, he has great momentum going. I have a lot of momentum going. It makes for an exciting fight.
For those who are barely new to Ruiz Jr or are going to get their first real glimpse of you, what stands out to me is your performance against Vic Macias. He came in undefeated. You looked amazing, but for those that have barely gotten the sample size, when they watch you on Sunday, September 4th on FS1 against Mike Planium, what can the fans expect out of Ruiz Jr?
Oh man, I'm an excited fighter. I throw punches and punches. I come forward. I don't hold. I don't run. I'm ready to fight. So it's gonna be an exciting fight. He says he wants to go toe to toe. So it's gonna be a great fight for the fans. A great fight for boxing, and I'm extremely excited.
Are you the mindset, look, this is a loaded card. I just ran down the card from top to bottom from the TV portion, but are you the mindset that, look, I want to steal the show. I want people to be talking about me on Labor Day, the day after our fight?
Oh yeah, this has the potential to be the fight of the night. I believe it will be. He'll be at his best, bringing his A game. I'll be at my best, bringing my A game. I believe this will be fight of the night. This is a fight everybody should tune in for. I really can't wait. It's countdown mode, and everything is clicking, and it's gonna be on.
Absolutely, and you get Ruiz Jr's fight for free on FS1. We'll allow him to work out. Ruiz, we'll talk to you after you work out. Ruiz Jr, ladies and gentlemen, you will watch him work out now here in Las Vegas as he prepares for his showdown against Mike Planium coming up on Sunday, September 4th, a special holiday edition of WBC on Fox, FS1, and also on FOX Sports Pay-Per-View.
No, don't worry about it. Listen, he's just talking about
Again, you are watching the Ruiz Salim workout here in Las Vegas on the PBC YouTube page. Ruiz Salim and Mike Plani will begin the big night of Labor Day boxing on Sunday, September 4th, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time. Ruiz Salim takes on Mike Plani in a matchup between two top 10 super bantamweights. Huge ramifications in this particular fight with both hungry contenders. Alim undefeated, Mike Plani in the midst of an 11-fight win streak. And the winner will likely set themselves up in line for a title shot down the line.
Love what the show love.
Still to come, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see Luis King Kong Ortiz work out. Luis Ortiz will battle Andy Ruiz in the main event on FOX Sports PBC Pay-Per-View Sunday, September 4th from Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Back to Ruiz Salim's workout ahead of his matchup against Mike Lonnie.
Jab. 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 Double up. Jab right. Two roll. Stand up. One to catch. One to catch. Yep. Double up. Turn corner. Jab. Jab. Straight. Double up. One. Jab. 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 Double up. Up top. Step in. Body shot. Roll under. One. One. Two. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2. Pop. Stop. Pop. Wow. Pop. Pop. Where we at, Mom? Jab up. Jab up straight. Dig. Dig. Stop. 1. That's right. 1. Jab up top, straight to the body. Good feint. Touch. Side to side. Jab. Left foot got the head turn up. Wop. Double up. 2. Good. Pop. Dig. 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 Pop up. Oh. Right. Slip. Right hand. Slip. Slip the right hand, left foot. Double. Yeah, just under 3 minutes. All right, this flow. Start with the 2 catches. Slip, slip, roll. Turn. Double up. Roll in. 3 catches. Double up top. Pull. Slip. Roll. Turn out. 2. Right hook. Shoulder catch. Catch uppercut. Roll. Turn again. Double it up. Body shot. Body shot over there. Measure. Measure 3 times. Shoulder. Left hook. Right hand. 2 catches. Turn again. 2, 3, 2. Big body shot. Big body shot. Oh yeah. Touch once. Hook it. Touch one. Start with 3 slips. Pull. Slip the right hand. Slip the jab. 4 catches. Slip the right hand. Turn out. 2, 3, 2 again. Double. 4, 3. It's up. Keep it going. Keep it going. Come to me. One more arm. Scoot back. Scoot back. One more arm. You punch. There you go. Come on. Cardio. Cardio. Come on. Push it up. Let me know when you're 30, Mom.
Got it.
Move it. Feet. Feet first. Feet first. Feet first. Come on. Move it. Move it. There you go. Back straight.
20 seconds.
Okay. Dig. Dig. Hips. Dig. 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 Hard. There you go.
Come on. Keep digging. Come on. Touch. Come on. Hip. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on.
10 seconds.
Come on. 10. Come on. Move with me. Come on. Time.
Once again, you're watching Ruiz Salim's workout here in Las Vegas ahead of his collision against Mike Melania coming up
Dream team, baby. Dream team.
September 4th, live on FS1. It'll be on at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time. That is a prelude to the Fox portion with Joey Spencer, Kevin Salgado, and the main event, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Otis. That's being Otis.
In our main event, Luis King Kong Ortiz will be working out in a few moments. He takes on Andy Ruiz
Been helping out Rice a lot,
6 Pacific time on Sunday, September 4th on Fox Sports PBC Pay-Per-View. Ruiz Salim and Mike Melania matching up. Mario, is he done?
Yeah, we're just going to do interviews real quick.
Let me grab him real quick.
Oh, yeah, go.
Let him. So we're going to go ahead and speak with Ruiz Salim one more time and kind of dive into further detail about his thoughts on the division and also just some specifics on Mike Melania. Ruiz, I see you doing a lot of different things. You like to mix it up on the inside. I feel like there are times where just because of the kind of fighter you are, that you love to engage in combat, that you like to fight on the inside, even though in theory you're a very good boxer and could probably fight safe on the outside. Do you like to make it an inside action-packed fight for the fans to be exciting for them?
Yeah, I love to make it an action fight. It's just the beast in me, you know. It's like it doesn't matter if I'm up on all the scorecards in the 12th round. I'm going after the guy. I'm trying to get him out of there. You know, so sometimes it just I don't have to take that chance. I need to fight a very smart fight against this fighter, but I definitely want to fight on the inside for sure.
You are 19-0, but you're 32 years of age. Do you feel like you are a young veteran in the sport because you haven't taken much damage? Typically, when we get to like 130 to below, you know, when you get into your 30s, that's considered a bit older in regards to the division, but you have not taken any damage that I have seen, and you look fresh as you were when you were 26, 27 years of age.
Yeah, you know, just the fact that I haven't been in a lot of wars, pays dividend, you know. It's and then I also take care of my body, you know. I'm not drinking every night, I'm not partying every night, you know, so I'm doing what champions have to do to be the best they can be. And because I haven't taken a lot of wars, I also missed out a lot of time in the ring, you know. Inadvertently, I missed 4.5 years without a fight. I stayed in the gym, but that also kept me out of wars, you know. So but I still feel like I'm in my prime. I'm the best I've ever been. I'm still getting better and better. You never stop learning in this sport. So the best is still yet to come.
What will it mean for you to make that ring walk at Crypto.com Arena, formerly known as the Staples Center in Los Angeles? There are arenas in this building that have, or in our country, that have a lot of history when it comes to boxing. You think of the East Coast Barclays Center, MSG. When it comes to Los Angeles, you think of the War Grounds in Carson, you know, Dignity Health Sports Park, but also here, Crypto.com Arena, Staples Center. What's it like for you fighting in this venue?
It's kind of surreal, you know, especially fighting on a stacked card. It's surreal. Coming from where I come from, small town in Muskegon, Michigan, and doing it by myself, moving to Vegas with no direction, just following my heart, believing in myself, and to be in this moment, to be sitting here talking to you, to fighting at the Staples Center Crypto Arena, it's surreal. It's great. It just means never stop following your dreams. They can come true as long as you put in the work. And that's exactly what I've been doing. And I'm looking to get my first win at the Crypto Arena.
Let's talk about the rest of the division. Assuming you get your hand raised on Sunday, September 4th against Mike Melania, live on FS1, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time, Ruiz Salim in action. But let's talk about Stephen Fulton and Akhmedov. You know, where do you think you fit in regarding those two guys? Do you feel like it is this victory and then a title shot? Have you heard anything? What's your mindset?
Well, I haven't really heard anything. I just know I'm fighting for the #1 spot, and that's exactly what I want to do. I need to be the mandatory, you know, the #1 ranked contender, and I need the WO to mandate that fight. That's the situation Ruiz Salim is trying to put himself in, so that way nobody can duck and dodge. And I'm not saying anybody is or has, but it seems to have happened time and time again. So, you know, there are no excuses. After I get this win, I want the world title shot, whether that's against Stephen Fulton. I believe I'll be the WBO #1 ranked contender. So I first have my sights set on him, and then Ahmadaliyah to unify is the ultimate goal.
What separates Ruiz Salim from the rest of the fighters within the super bantamweight division at 122?
My opinion is no matter what task is put in front of me, no matter the situation, I truly believe in myself. I truly believe that I can beat these guys. I truly believe that I will find a way to win no matter what goes on. Like, I put in the work, I've done 2-a-days, I've done 3-a-days, I've sacrificed, you know, I know what the struggle is, I know what real pain is. And then I'm not saying that these other guys don't, but I can only speak for myself. I truly believe that I can win and I can do this.
Where do you get this poise about you from? Because, you know, they talk about it. Floyd Mayweather was notorious for the saying, when you fight at this level, this pay-per-view level, this level where the world will be watching on Sunday, September 4th, that the nerves, the media obligations, doing this stuff with the lights, they're brighter than they ever have been. I feel like you relish it, you thrive in it, you enjoy it. This is like your ability to be able to display to the world your talent.
Yeah, it's my opportunity to earn a lot of new fans, a lot of people who's never seen Ruiz Salim fight. This is their chance. This is my chance to show up and show out and show them who I am. It's great. You know, this is the stage every fighter should strive to fight on. You know, this is the ultimate goal. You want to fight on the big stage. You want to fight under the big lights. To be able to be a part of Showtime, PBC, fighting on Fox is absolutely amazing. I'm extremely grateful. So there's no nerves. It's just this is part of the game. You know, you can either adapt and go with it, or you can fold and get knocked out and be on the shelf. So,
in a perfect world, how does this fight end on Sunday, September 4th?
Ruiz Salim goes out there. He's the best version of himself. He not only wins, he dominates, and he stops his opponent.
So when you talk about the best version of yourself, and this is my final question, what is the best version of Ruiz Salim? Because I don't think we've seen it just yet.
No, we haven't. You know, I go into every fight extremely mentally focused, you know, but there has been times to where I absolutely killed myself to make weight. You know, so this time around, I'm in a great place mentally. I'm in a great place physically. I'm not struggling to make weight. Everything has been clicking. You know, there's been adversity in camp as always. You know, there's ups and downs. But I'm going to be the best version of myself. I believe that.
When you talk about adversity in camp, what do you mean? I mean, do you want to just shed a little bit of light on that?
I mean, you know, it could just be, you know, something mentally going on. You know, it could be an injury, you know, or a nagging pain, you know. So it's just, sometimes you just have to find a way. You know, it's like you may not like the option you have to do because you have an injury. Maybe you have to stop sparring, or maybe you need harder sparring. It's just really just finding a way, and that's what camp is all about. Camp is grueling sometimes, you know. It's extremely hard. Like, I've personally done 3-a-days. It's
3-a-days?
Yeah, 3-a-day workouts.
I can't even do 2-a-days.
It's crazy, you know, but that's what us fighters have to do sometimes to get to the top, to be the best version of ourselves.
Well, I almost feel like fighters, when you go through a proper training camp, you don't go into a fight 100%. That's what fighters say, but I almost feel like every top-level prize fighter doesn't go into a fight 100% because of what you put yourself through in training camp.
Yeah, you know, you want to time it just right. You know, you want to peak at the right times. And this fight had got canceled. I was supposed to fight June 18th. You know, it got postponed. And the same thing happened to my last fight. But it's adapting and learning. I overtrained for my last fight. The grind never stopped. I never slowed down. And you know, I was kind of burnt out when it came time to fight. You know, so this time around, I kind of pulled it back a little bit, picked it back up. I believe I'm peaking at the right time. Like I said, everything's been clicking, and I'm extremely excited. September 4th is going to be a show.
Well, September 4th in the main event, Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz. I know we're going to see Luis Ortiz work out in a few moments, but as a fight fan, I know you're excited about that, as am I, and the rest of the world. But where do you see that fight going?
I think that's going to be a great fight. You know, Ortiz, especially being older in age, he can box. You know, I think he beats Wilder had he not got stopped late, you know. And Ruiz, he desperately wants what he once had. It's going to make an electric fight. I'm leaning towards Ortiz winning that fight just by really outbox him, and he can hit.
All right, Ruiz Salim, thank you so much, my friend. We appreciate it. We'll see you during Fight Week in Las Vegas.
All right, thank you.
Ruiz Salim joining us here, ladies and gentlemen, here on the BBC YouTube page. 2.5 weeks away until you will see Ruiz Salim and Mike Planium, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time live on FS1. Let me run down the card for you one more time. Right after Ruiz Salim and Mike Planium,
What's up,
back on
Ruiz?
FS1 at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time. Flip on over to Big Fox.
We're just going to do
Because
scrum.
at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time, you will see a match between
Yeah, you know, Mike Plania, he beat Josh Greer. I'm not sure if you saw that fight, but his only loss was a while ago. Do you feel like you're basically fighting a guy who's undefeated coming into this fight?
Yeah, you know, he's been on an 11-fight win streak. You know, world champions have losses. You know, I believe Planey is a future world champion. You know, the fact that he has a loss on his record really means nothing to me. He's beat a lot of top fighters. It's a tough fight.
I know you talked about engaging and going toe-to-toe, but is there a chance, you know, you walk him into the buzzsaw, you nail him repeatedly, step off with those feet you got, or how do you see this fight going?
Well, you know, a lot of what I do is going to depends on what he tries to do. You know, I believe I'm a diverse fighter. You know, I can box, I can fight on the inside, I can go left, I can go right. We can go forehead to forehead and make it, you know, and just really make it pop. You know, so I really can't say. You just have to tune in September 4th to really see how that fight goes.
You know, I know for a while you felt like you were closing in on a world title shot with Fulton. Do you feel like you're the most ducked guy at 122 right now?
I mean, I do, but at the same time, I just have to put myself in a position to where the WBA or the WBO, the sanctioning body, orders the fight. You know, so that's all Ruiz Salim is trying to do. I'm trying to beat all the top guys. Everybody at the top, I want a piece of, I want to beat, and I want to win a world title.
Is it important for you to keep that position at 122? So, you know, whether it's a new way trying to move up to eventually grab the WBO or getting that title shot with Fulton. And because I know you talked about, you know, 22 gets tough to make sometimes.
Yeah, it gets tough to make, but, you know, it's the boxing politics behind it, which is why I have to put myself in that position to where there's no excuses. You know, you can fight or you can vacate. You know what I'm saying? Any which way, I'm going to get mine. And that's the ultimate goal.
Right, talk about your team. Talk about your coaches. People that have been around you through this long journey, the struggle. Talk about your team, how important that is.
So I got to give a huge shout out to Marshall Kaufman, King's Promotion. Huge shout out to Greg Hanley, Prince Ranch Boxing, my trainer, Bobby McRoy, my other trainer, Dennis. You know, it's been a long road. It's been a journey. And I've just been making it all happen, trying to find my way through the maze, grinding, figuring out what works best for me, what doesn't, and just applying it to my game and making shit happen.
Which fight do you think is more realistic that you'll get the title shot? Fulton eventually or Ahmed Ali?
Fulton. You know, Fulton, he is the WBA or WBO champion, but also he fights on PBC and Showtime, you know, so it's an easier fight to make, and that's some of the boxing politics.
Okay, and then you talk about being the best version of yourself. What does that look like as a fighter?
As a fighter, it's just, you know, being 110% mentally focused. It's being 100% physically focused. But it's just, you know, when you're in camp and you know things are clicking, you know, when you're not struggling to make weight, when there's just, you know, no mental blocks. You know, you go into the fight feeling fresh, feeling strong, and that's how I'm going to beat this fight.
Thanks, Ruiz. See you on Fox, man. Fox debut.
Thank you.
Always good catching up, right?
Hey, yo, what's up, man?
Hey, just got one question for you, bro. So obviously you see the big poster behind you, Bradley versus Pacquiao. It's just a fight that kind of reminds me of that American versus Filipino, the boxer versus the brawler. How do you make the fight not as close as those fights were?
By fighting a smart fight. You know, using my strengths. You know, fighting a smart fight. You know, if I choose to go and fight to the inside, just do it smart. Don't take unnecessary chances. You know, there are times to where I want to just get it on and I jump in. You know what I'm saying? So that's being smart is not doing that. Pick my moment to jump in. It's just fighting a smart fight.
And one other question about the Muskegon, Michigan thing. Obviously, I'm from the Midwest. What is it like, you know, fighting on the stage? I know they talked about it a little bit, but just being on the West Coast and fighting on the Crypto.com arena. Obviously, we don't got arenas like that back home.
Right. It's huge. You know, I want to be a role model and inspiration to everybody from the 231, the Midwest, Muskegon, Michigan. You know, to just show them that it's not impossible. You know, even though you don't have a lot of resources.
Young Ali.
Excuse me.
I love that.
I'm doing
what's going on in these shirts.
Right.
What's that?
Hey, what's happening? Good.
Oh, it's good.
Where you live, dude?
Oh man, you gotta put extra support for him so he doesn't break nothing in here.
Oh, no. While he wraps up, we can do a couple of questions.
Thank you. Is that Johnny?
Right. When they give me an EPA for when you want Ruiz to wrap up. Like he's gonna wrap up for 5 minutes? 5 minutes? Yeah, in the meantime we'll do some questions.
Is Herman around?
Huh? Herman, yeah, he's in there. Sure.
And then
afterwards we'll bring, okay, yeah. But let Herman,
what's that? Come, what's that?
Right. Let Herman wrap Ruiz up first. Herman.
¿Cómo estás, King Kong?
You're joined alongside by the trainer of Ruiz, Bobby Renata, Bobby, we saw you holding the bag, Ruiz. This is a big night for you guys. Taking on very tough
He'll be here then, yeah. Because that's what fight. Don't ask him who he prefers.
So your plan is not your plan. You guys want
Luis, también hacemos un par de preguntas.
Sí.
Ok, antes que nada, ¿quién crees que está en el ring con vos para traducir? ¿Herman o yo? Como vos quieras. Okay, guys, whenever you want, go ahead. Ask Ruiz a couple of questions.
Ruiz, do you feel like, with Ruiz's youth, that he has a hand-speed advantage and that you make up for it with timing beats speed?
¿Sentís que tu timing va a ser superior a lo que sería la juventud y la velocidad de manos de Andy Ruiz?
Bueno, yo me siento bien, estoy físicamente entero. La velocidad, no creo que me vaya a afectar en nada. Yo tengo velocidad, tengo cómo restar la velocidad. Nada, y voy a esperar que 4 de septiembre es el que va a decidir todo.
Look, Andy's speed doesn't bother me in the least. I feel like I have the tools needed in order to counter that speed. And then on September 4th, it's a moment of truth, and you'll see just how I can counter that speed.
Do you think if you hit him with the same kind of shots Ariola hit him with, that you knock him out?
¿Sentís que si le golpeas con la misma cantidad y estilo de golpes que lo hizo Ariola, lo puedes noquear?
La pelea va a terminar por nocaut. No es que va a terminar por puntos, ni vamos a llegar a un desasalto. No, esta pelea, desde que toque la campana, la presión va a estar ahí.
Look,
de ambas partes. Y yo no soy de los hombres que van a parar.
Look, this fight is going to end in a knockout, regardless, because the judges are going to have nothing to do with it. There is pressure on both sides, both for Andy and I, and both of us are going to try to go for that KO.
What's the difference between King Kong Ortiz right now versus when you were younger and undefeated? What's the difference between you as a fighter?
¿Cuál es la diferencia mayor, dirías, entre el King Kong Ortiz que era joven e invicto y estaba en la cima con este joven.
Sigue con la misma expectativa desde cuando empezó su primera pelea en el boxeo profesional. Nada no le echo la culpa a la vejez. Yo sigo entrenando como si fuese el primer día que empecé a entrenar.
Absolutely nothing has changed. My determination, my motivation is the same now as it was in the first day I turned pro. The same intensity, the same everything. I'm here just like I was 20 plus years ago.
Now, Deontay Wilder mentioned on the PBC podcast that he felt that Ortiz was going to beat Ruiz, and maybe there might be a Wilder Ortiz 3. He will look if he gets past Robert Helenius. Just wanted to get his thoughts on that.
Bueno, Wilder dijo que le vas a ganar a Ortiz y que siente que ahí va a completarse la trilogía. ¿Vos qué opinás?
Bueno, sí. Yo digo que sí, eso sería una gran felicidad. Yo con todo siento mucho respeto por Wilder, porque siento mucho respeto por él. Y nada, eso sería. Sé que él no va a decir nunca que no, porque ha sido el único boxeador que no ha puesto un pretexto a pelear con Luis Ortiz. Y sería lindo, ¿sabes? Debajo del ring somos amigos, familia, podemos pelear al lado por su familia. Lo mismo puedo pelear yo al lado de él por su familia, que él puede pelear al lado mío por mi familia. Pero encima del ring, ya somos enemigos. Dentro del ring, ambos sabemos que somos enemigos.
Well, first of all, that makes me very happy to know that he said that, and I know that if he said it, it's true that the trilogy could happen because he's the only one that never made excuses to fight me. I consider him a friend, his family. I know that I could fight alongside his family, he could fight alongside mine, but then again, look, inside the ring, like what he just motioned right there, then they're enemies, not friends anymore. So he will be looking forward to that fight if it does happen.
Speaking of, once you're in the ring, you're enemies. Do you think that the fact that while fighting his sparring partner, that affects how they'll fight each other in the ring because they are sparring partners?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Speaking of what he's talking about, no friends in the ring, does he think that the fact that Wilder and Helenius have been sparring partners, will that affect how they go at each other at all in their fight?
¿Sentís que como Wilder y Helenius son compañeros de sparring, eso podría generar que la pelea no sea tan intensa como lo sería si habría más animosidad entre ellos?
No. Sparring es una cosa, pero encima del ring hay una sola persona que está en el medio y que es la que no está ni a favor tuyo ni a favor del otro. Es una guerra, adentro es muy diferente.
No, like inside the ring, it's a totally different animal. You could spar all you want, but inside the ring, it's you, him, and in the middle, it's what you need to do in order to win. So they can be sparring partners all they want. In the end, inside the ring, no holds barred whatsoever.
Luis, se van a subir al cuadrilátero dos de los estilos más reconocidos a nivel mundial, el cubano y el mexicano. Vamos a pensar que no eres parte de la pelea. ¿Cómo la defines? Si no fueras parte, ¿cómo describes tú el combate ante Andy Ruiz?
Okay, wait, let me translate first. So, this is a fight between Cuban and Mexican fighters.
Yeah, the best
so let's say that he will be an impartial observer of this fight. How would he describe the clash between Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz?
Bueno, viendo la pelea afuera, siento que una pelea bien interesante entre dos boxeadores guerreros con estilo diferente y a la vez similar. Pienso que la técnica y el deseo de ganar, bueno, yo pienso le diría cubano.
Ok, quiere decir con esto que estás más hambriento.
Sí. Cada pelea de King Kong viene con más hambre.
Well, you know, I'm hungrier than ever, and if I had to be impartial on this, I would say this is a very interesting fight between two fighters whose styles clash really well. So we'll see what happens on September 4th, because this is a fight that you're not going to want to miss.
Would you also want the possible chance of
Sí, yo sé, pero tiene que hacer. Okay, guys.
One last question. Just
hang on 1 second. Okay.
Oye, al ratito cuando acaben de regalar las 10 minutitos en español, dilo. Oye, Le digo a la gente que no sabe la anécdota, que a ti te hacían el Mercedes al principio, ¿te acuerdas?
Sí,
Cuando
sí,
llegaste
sí.
allá, puta madre. ¿Y qué recuerdos? Ya dejé Los Ángeles. Viví en Miami 14 años. Luego 4 años en Los Ángeles y tengo 6 meses viviendo aquí en Las Vegas. Es más barato. Los Ángeles estaba de lejos.
Mucha
Miami,
calor, mucha
cabrón.
calor. No,
Sí, no, pero Miami también hace calor. Claro, más húmedo. Pero dicen que Miami ya está cabrón de calor.
They gotta get him in. They gotta get him in the racing.
No, está cabrón. Gusto verte. Entonces al final me regalas un...
Let him know that you want him now? Yeah. Okay, come on, Ortiz. It'll just be tough. Okay. Bounced up on it. Let me go in there. 2 seconds. All right.
No worries.
What's the trip? What's going on?
Good, man. King back, baby.
Oh man, the King's back. How you feeling?
Good, man. Take it easy.
You just flew back from Dubai too, didn't you?
Yeah, bro. Just got back and came right to work with D.
Man, what was that like in Dubai?
Oh, it was good, man. Real good. We'll see.
The King's back. The squad's back.
He's back.
That right there.
The best heavyweight in America is back.
That's his blessing.
What's up, Deontay?
Yeah, what's up, baby?
The best heavyweight in America is back in the building.
Y'all doing all right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Out in the building.
My man. Ready to combos, right?
D, man, how you feeling, man? We ain't had a chance to see you since October, since that great fight.
I feel great. I feel amazing. Life has been wonderful. Been having a lot of good time with the family and the kids. You know, I can't complain at all. You know what I mean? It's life is all about your peace and happiness. That's the most important. That's wealth. You know what I mean? Your peace and your happiness. If you have that, then you have the world. Because you can be a billionaire and be miserable. If you don't have your happiness and peace, then that's one thing I always keep guarded and secret to myself is my peace and my happiness. Because when all things fails, when you have that, it's like nothing ever happened.
Hey D, you know, on behalf of the boxing world, man, thank you for that last fight. You couldn't have left anything more in the ring. That was incredible. What kind of Deontay Wilder are we going to get back in the ring October 15th?
I mean, you know, the same as you always get. You know, one that believes in themselves strongly when others don't. You know, one that speak it, believe it, receive, and no more, no less. You know, the mind has only got stronger. The body, mind, and soul. So, you know, everyone is in for a treat. You know, I'm coming back for a specific reason because I don't have to do this no more. You know, I always have said, and I'll continue to say, I'm very proud as a black man. I don't have to. I make more money outside of the boxing ring than in. And I've always tried to educate other fighters. I've always tried to tell them, but in the midst of that, you know, I lost a few of them. Maybe by the wayside, maybe because they see a black man from the South, or he don't know what he's talking about or whatever. Now the proof is in the pudding with a statue. So now I'm a walking, living legend that don't even have to come to the sport, but I'm coming back to motivate, to inspire so many others.
Yeah, what's the specific reason that you said?
When I got my statue, it was just, you know, because I was like, I was at one point in time. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
There you go. Get comfortable, D.
Feel like I'm standing up.
Yeah, you're still taller than us.
I know, man. Them stools just be too low. They'll cut you off or whatever.
You're still Usyk height.
You look nice, too. Yeah, the inventor. How's the inventor? I don't know. This is hard, man.
Bring that everywhere?
Ain't the stool. This bitch hard. Is this a spring? Oh, okay, so you done outdone yourself now. That's good right here. Oh, that's nice, house.
Hey, Cham, how important is for you
that, man? Let me sit on my new seat.
Do you mean throne? Is it a throne?
Oh, yeah, it's feel like it. See if it's going to be...
We might have to put a little maybe a little little stand right here.
Champion, how important is that your legacy is bigger than in the ring? Not only the American fighters, but Mexicans. I mean, every boxer are thinking of you like a role model, and I believe this is very important, more than the victories in the ring.
Most definitely, it's very important on the outside, just as well as important on the inside. But I feel it's way more important on the outside because only so many people understand you on the inside. Because let's face it, everybody can talk that talk, but they ain't gonna step in that ring and walk that walk. You understand what I'm saying? But on the outside, we go through real life situations certain people can relate to. They can't relate to in the ring, but I can relate to you as a real person going through real situations in real life on the outside of the ring. I can be relatable in many situations on the outside. So, and the work that you give to the people, the charity, the kids, like I do a lot of stuff for children, for single mothers, for families and stuff that I don't advertise because for me, it's not about me getting the light shined on me because I've done great for somebody. If I've done a great deed, I want to show the world what great deed I've done. So here it is. I'm out. I mean, which I don't have no problem with anybody. What's up, baby? Oh man,
it's a friendship.
What's up? Yeah, man. Good, great. How about yourself?
Training hard.
Baby getting big.
Where's your family, bro?
They're at home right now. Yeah, I'm here training. Training as well. See you.
Lemon, I hope you when you won it.
Most definitely. Looking like it's like on the business, baby. Yeah, man.
Ortiz considered you as a friend.
Man. I mean, this is just the amazing thing about what's going on, man.
Before you interview Deontay, can we please have him come to the ring?
Yeah, for Fox.
For Fox?
Ruiz Ortiz, and it is so great to see the Bronze Bomber himself. It is great to see him, man. Oh, man, he looks amazing. Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber, back in action. Before we get to Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz, the pre-sale went on today in Brooklyn at Barclays Center. A lot of people are talking about they're welcoming you back in Brooklyn. That's a venue you've had some successful moments. Your first fight against Luis Ortiz, what a battle that was. Your knockout against Bermane Stiverne. Arthur Spica still hasn't woken up since the rocket that you landed on him. But now that you're back, what does it feel like? I've seen photos, Instagrams, you're in the gym, looking in great shape, but how's the Bronze Bomber feeling?
Man, I'm feeling amazing, man. It's good to see you, man. You always bring great energy. When I see you, I can't do but smile because, you know, when you let your little light of mine shine, you know, everybody around like started to talk on the show as well. But I'm feeling amazing, you know. It's been good to just get away a little bit, check on the kids, watch them grow a little bit more. You know, I always have my children, but it's something special when you just like put away everything on the shelf for them. You know what I mean? And drink you some watermelon juice with some lime, man. It's refreshing. You know what I mean? If you drink too much, it make you eat a run. So you got to be careful on how many you get. But you know, it's just been refreshing. I've been happy. I always tell people, you know, for me, I don't dwell on money or materialistic things. It's all about my happiness and my peace. Because I can be a man that have everything in the world, but it could be miserable because I don't have my happiness and my peace. And that right there, you can't buy. When you have your happiness and your peace, no matter what goes right or goes wrong, you're good either way it goes. It's just life, and we just deal with it. So, but to make a long story short, man, I'm just blessed. My family is blessed, and a lot has been going on in my life, you know, in a positive way, and here I am now. You know, I'm back for the second wave, more so to motivate, to inspire, you know. There was one point in time I was questioning myself, why would you? Coming back to work, you know what I mean? Because I did it for my daughter as a bonus when I lived in the beginning. Now I have added tremendously to the addition to the family. I have 8 children. So, you know, it's been a blessing to raise them and have wheels and set things in the future for them. Now I think about their parent right now, but I think about that situation where what kind of father they have in their life. And it's been amazing just to watch those guys grow, see how intelligent they are, how much they comprehend and understand what goes on in the world and that is going on in the world. So I had a meeting with them, and I got all my kids together. I said, how you feel about that? And all of them was for it, though. There wasn't no surprise to me. They love seeing their father in and out of the ring. They think I'm the best dad in the world. As any dad should be to their children, you know. That love to their children, especially when it's women. It's immense. But it's amazing. But once I got my statue, when I saw the people that came and celebrated with me, men and women, and a lot of men came, it's very emotional, broke down to me. They had their children and their sons, so this is what a real king represents and look like, you know, especially from people coming all over the world. It allowed me to understand that now a little bit more than God. I can't put it on the shelf now. Because I have people that are motivated and inspired around the world.
Well, I feel like you're just a natural born entertainer. From your ring walks that I've seen you throughout the course of your career, you love to fight. I mean, you did it to begin for your daughter, obviously, but now you have generational, 5 or 6 generational wealth that you've been able to accomplish, which you deserve. But I feel like you're a born entertainer and that you miss the sport of boxing. Is that fair to say?
You know, I'm definitely an entertainer, you know, but I don't know if I miss it. You know, at least back then, I was, like I said, if I missed it so, it wouldn't took this long. You know, I've accomplished so much, I've done so much, I've sacrificed my life for others' entertainment, and a lot of people don't understand what that means. They hear me when I say, but you can't relate or understand the meaning behind what that means. You know, it takes a lot for fighters, any fighters around the world, come back to work. It takes a lot, especially in this ring. It takes a lot for us to get up, go train, and get ourselves together weeks or months at a time to break our body down, then get in the ring, get in the head. You understand what I'm saying? So with men, they always talk about, there's a lot of mental health. It's a lot of PTSD, a lot of stuff that fighters deal with, but there are a lot of them want to keep that toughness about themselves, don't want to let people know or see certain things wrong with them, because you don't want them to say that.
It's okay to have vulnerabilities.
You know, it's okay, and that's why I come in, I show men that it's okay to do certain things, and people will be honest, no matter what people may feel or think about you, because you don't have one life in this life. You know, you got to make the best of it. That's why I tell you, be great at what you do. Because the inevitable is chasing us every day. And I want to be a person that when it's time for me, when the inevitable comes for me, the world would say, that's a great man. You know, you look at all in the ring, you get a great dude on the outside of the ring as well. Because I tell everyone, we all have greatness in us. It doesn't cost much to put a little bit of time and greatness in your life. No, you got to be great at every little thing that you do, just a little bit of it.
Well, you're matching up against Robert Helenius in about 2 months on FOX Sports PBC Pay-Per-View, October 15th at Barclays Center. He's not an easy opponent. And you could have easily come back and taken an opponent of lesser opposition. But instead, people are saying, wow, Helenius, this is a very tough guy known as the Nordic Nightmare. You beat Adam Kopnowski twice. Why Helenius in your comeback fight?
Why not? In my career, and even in my second round, I always want to fight for the best. I deserve it for myself, and I deserve it for the fans. And the fans deserve it for me to fight the best and then the best. You know what I mean? So much I can say about that. far as people fighting the best and make it, but it's just me, that's just my heart. It's just where I want to be. I don't want to stop. I just want to continue to keep moving forward. The bronze from this back, hope I can be a light of inspiration, a motivation to so many, not only people on the outside, but fighters on the inside, with coming back with Robert, you gotta understand this has been my star for years, so we know each other well.
I think that makes for a more exciting fight. I think you guys can let the leather fly even more so.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I started laughing like I do. He's a warrior just like you. He's got a warrior heart just like you. The thing about it, Ray, many people think that mind controls everything. True enough, the mind is a temporary thing to waste, but the heart controls your heart. The heart controls your mind, your body, and your soul. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have the mind to want to, you can have the mind to want to quit at times, but your heart is, you know what I'm saying? Your heart overcomes everything.
So you mentioned the heart. So in the lead up to Luis Ortiz, Andy Ruiz, you're picking Luis Ortiz to knock out Andy Ruiz. So you shared the ring with Luis Ortiz not on one occasion, on two occasions. So I'm going to ask you, are you picking with your heart or are you picking with your mind, or is it a combination of both?
I'm going with my heart. Luis Ortiz is another one that has heart. Why you think so many fighters wouldn't have in the chance? When you got a guy like me looking up on him, and I'm like, this is what we got in here for. This is a gladiator sport. Why don't give another man an opportunity to make some money? They're trying to do the same thing.
Well, isn't that been the story of your career throughout the course of your career? I mean, what you did with Luis Ortiz, what you did against Tyson Fury, given opportunities because you felt that they deserved the opportunity because you wanted the challenge. I think that's accurate, don't you?
It makes me feel so good as a human being knowing that I've changed lives in my profession, in my career, because no fighter really want to be in here alone. We just want to make money and support our family and go home. You know what I mean? That's the reason we get in here. You don't see nobody with a silver spoon in this sport unless they go on exhibitions like that. Not the real zone. Because if you don't have the ring, you ain't gonna get in this ring. You might talk on the outside, but it's a different thing when you get up in the ring.
So from a planning standpoint, I know you're focused on October 15th, but have you thought about what could possibly be next? AJ and Usyk are going to fight on Saturday. Do you think an impressive performance goes ahead and puts you in line for that, depending on what happens with Tyson Fury, if he retires or not? We're hearing that he needs to let his intentions be known at the end of the month. Is that the fight you want next for the title? Or I know that you even mentioned, hey, Luis Ortiz and I might be able to do it again in a third time, depending on how he looks against Andy Ruiz. Where's the Bronze Bomber's mindset at?
I mean, my mind is unified. Whatever route that takes me, the quickest route to take me to uniform, that's where I'm going. I'm not definitely dodging it. Never have and never will. Everyone know that. And when you fight against me, everything is everything. Because this is how I think. I really know the business of it. It's not a sport to me. To call it a sport is a massive agent. What really it is a business. And I handle the business accordingly. And within the business, I love this business. Because it can make a poor man rich, it also can make a rich man poor. So it's all about how you deal your cards, and I love being able to motivate and inspire and change lives. And I could have changed my life 3 or 4 times, and now I'm sitting back on the end of it, enjoying this ring while I want to motivate and help a lot of other fighters. I want to motivate and help a lot of other people on the outside of the ring. Because I only have between 40.
So that's where you're going to 40 and that's it.
I'm done. I still want to continue my 3 fights a year.
3 fights a year? I love that. But 3 fights a year? I love that.
I'm young, so I feel I mean, like I said, when you have your happiness and your peace, you're only building from there. It ain't just never a down. You know what I mean? You're only just building from there, and they have so much love and stuff like that. It's refreshing. You know, even when people think you're down and sad and out because of whatever reason they have to be there, that's why I tell people, I don't live for them. I live for myself. This is my jacket. Like,
oh, appreciate it.
Always looking fly.
I appreciate it. Likewise, Jeff. And the Bomb Squad back intact. I see Malik Scott's here in Las Vegas. The entire team is ready to rock and roll. Have you guys started training camp yet? Or, I mean, because I see you've been in the gym, but has training camp officially started is my question.
Yeah. My pre-training camp has started. I've done 253 rounds in 11 days. So, they get run Monday, Wednesday.
Wait, 253 in 11 days?
253 in 11 days. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I've been here with Vegas with because all my team and stuff. We've just been enjoying it. It's been a real treat. I've been going to the UFC Dana White contender series and watching those guys, looking at that beautiful facility here. They had a $8 million facility over there. Yeah. 8 packs got over there. It's been beautiful to be over there with the restaurant. You get so much treatment over there. Just a level of the people.
Will you be in LA for Ruiz and Ortiz? You're going to be watching at home on pay-per-view. I know you're in training camp, but will you be at the fight? Have you not made a decision on that yet?
I haven't made a decision yet, but we most likely may be in camp. You know, you can't take Robert. He's not one of those guys that look open. You know, many people have their opinion of judge inside while looking upon him inside of the ring and stuff like that. But look, when you have a man that got a pot of gold and a warrior mindset, a warrior thought, it's unpredictable what they can do. You can't look past a man like that because with that heart, especially not me. You know what I'm saying? It's do or die. That's what Hart and Robert had. He had to do or die. So,
One thing I know about the Bronze Bomber, when it comes to any fight you're in, it's always physical, it's always exciting, it's always aggressive, and don't blink. Deontay, appreciate it. The Bronze Bomber, he looks in great shape as always. He's slicked out, he's wearing J's, being from Chicago. He's always got Michael Jordan on. I love it. Deontay. Squad! He's back! October 15th. We'll come back with more here in Las Vegas.
Hey, D, I heard you talking to Ray about going after the titles. And
Guys, let's get the of the ring. We'll come down here and we'll do group interview.
Oh, sorry. You're fine.
Come over here.
That's that new UFC kick that you've been doing over there.
I've been around a lot of.
What's going on, dude?
What's up, baby? Everything good?
I'm good, boss. How about you?
I'm doing well.
You cool?
Doing well.
Sure? All right, now. Talking a bit, all right?
What that stool is, man? That amazing stool.
5-10 minutos de workout.
Hey, this is my boss. I'm gonna take a picture.
Bless him.
heard you talking about.
Yeah. On two.
Guys, if you want Deontay, come over here.
Heard you talk about Hellenius and then going after being undisputed again.
Have you seen this beautiful stool? This is going to be in the corner. You know, made by Don House himself. He's an inventor. You don't tell nobody that, but
In the house.
his first trade is inventing.
Man of many
Like a
trades.
lot of
Yeah,
great
man, for
trainers.
real. That's
a lot
for
of
real.
great trainers work with their hands
Yeah, for real.
outside of boxing, right?
For real.
But Deontay, man, we heard you talking about taking another run at becoming unified, one face in the division. You're still #1 for the WBC. Do you think Fury is serious about retiring and vacating that belt? What do you think of all that?
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to retire. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to retire. So
legal issues.
Yeah, he got a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm not gonna even get into it. But it's looking like he's gonna have to. And once that happened, then I don't really want to discuss it. But it's going to be a lot of changes in the division, a lot of opportunities, and a lot of different things lined up. So stay tuned.
Do you think there'll be any changes in the heavyweight fight with Usyk and Joshua?
What you mean changes?
Like, you think it'll go back to Joshua as in the titles, or?
I'm going with Usyk in this fight. I've said that after that fight, I'm sticking with my word on this fight. Usyk, he's just when you look at it, he just look even more confident, more so ever now. And when you look at Joshua, it just looked like a different man or something. He looked like more broken than anything. Maybe it's him getting used to not having the titles. Now it's the tables have turned and stuff like that. Because sometimes when you have it so long and the tables turn, it's like you gotta adjust and get used to that. When you're used to something else. But who knows, though? It's just my opinion about things.
Maybe he's relieved from the pressure. He don't got to be the champ no more.
Yeah, maybe it could be the pressure. He don't have to be the champ. He just being himself. I seen a lot of, people that told me about certain things, about what he's been doing outside of the ring, running in people's homes and shit like that.
Punking college kids. Yeah.
Chill.
That's so funny. It's crazy, like, every time somebody, do something, especially a fight or whatever, somebody call you or whatever, you just hear about it. Like, it's just a big family, like, at the end of the day. If you don't know this person, somebody knows somebody. And it's always entertaining and exciting. But who knows? We're gonna see the fight Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Saturday,
yep.
So we'll see. I'm going with Usyk, like I've picked before, so I think I'm gonna stick with that. And once that happens, I think it's a lot of things in the future, like a unification bout as well. So,
but it is a difference in mentality between you and Joshua, right? Like you were talking about back in blood for your rematch, and he's being the gentleman. That's a difference in mentality, right, Deontay?
Well, you have to have different mentalities. We all are different. We all are different fighters, so we come from different places. So when you're coming from different places, you build a different mentality, a certain ways and certain approach. For me, people know, especially at this time, that I say what I mean what I say. And I'm gonna always go out, like a warrior. And I say it again, I know a lot of people don't like to hear the language of kill and stuff, but you gotta understand the business that we're in. Once people let that narrow mind go and drop down to the ground and open up their heart and their mind and understand that this is a business that we're looking at. When you get in here, these guys getting hit in the fucking face, in the head. You can ask any doctor around and tell you the head is not meant to be hit in the first place. So what do you think? Guys gonna come with mental illness or sometimes we have PTSD and even other things serious than that. You know what I mean? I advise all fighters after a fight to go get tests done, go get blood work done, go get MRIs done. That's very important because you may be dealing with something that you don't even know, and it just feel normal to you right now. But internally, you got something going on and shit like that. And I made a vow to myself that after certain fights, after every fight, I'm gonna do the same. So I'm leading by example. Because you can't have certain things going on that you had no clue that was going on, and you'll be surprised when you think you feel healthy and you think you living life, you don't feel nothing. My body's good until the results of the test tell you something else. Especially when you've been in here where you have to break yourself down. And camp is the hardest shit because we break all of our body down in camp. So when we get in the fight, that's like the easy part. At least it's supposed to be, depending on your opponent and what he's done in his camp. and then hopefully y'all don't get beat up too bad, beating each other up too bad. But at the end of the day, it's nothing good coming out of the ring, because especially if you done took punishment and punishment, what's gonna come good from it? Nothing. What the money are they getting paid for? Well, not enough, because a lot of the fighters ain't getting paid enough. Let me stop. It's a business. Understand?
That's not with you though. You get
because I've been trying to teach these guys. And they've been hearing it many times. The secret to it is to invest. Not to already have your check spent before you even get the check. And every time, you got to know how to save. You got to know how to be disciplined in that. Just like disciplined in training, doing certain things, you got to be disciplined with your finances as well, too. And that's the only way you're going to be able to make it out of this business. Because we get money, so it comes all at once. You know what I mean? Cash, you know what I mean? A lot of guys get it cash, checks, whatever. You make whatever is set up for them.
So what you're doing is a legacy move, because you want to come back, become champion again, you know, and pretty much have another reign somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna have another reign, and you know, my ultimate thing is that I'm proud to say that I don't have to ever come back to the business of boxing again. You know what I mean? I make more money outside the ring than in. It'll be hard for a lot of people to understand, like, how. Trust me, I know. Even my own management didn't understand it. And they know what I get at fights. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm a private guy. It's just like outside of boxing, nobody hear of me, see of me. I go MIA on purpose, on reasoning. You know what I mean? My wife, she attend more boxing shows and watch it more than I got a lot of other stuff going on. I'm a Renaissance man. I do a lot of stuff.
Fan for real.
For real, she's going. I do a lot of different things. And as you can see, if y'all ain't went and got that single, every time go get the copy of it. It's pretty cool.
And just to the boxing, man, you said you expect Usyk to win this again. You and him, you know, him with all the feinting and moving his hands in and out, but could you line him up for that right hand and take him out?
I mean, anyone could be.
Would you want to fight him next?
Anyone could be lined up for it, you know. Certain people are more trickier than others, more smoother than others. Some is more simpletic than others. But, you know, eventually when you do it right, and all can be lined up. But with me, everybody coming in thinking that right hand, so... It's gonna be a lot of hiding it and surprise. But with that surprise, you know, it's gonna touch you. So, you know, that's why I love this business. When you meeting guys, because it's hard to really build a relationship with guys, because a lot of guys stereotype certain things and they get in their head, you know, thinking certain things that I can't get close to fighting because one day I may fight them and stuff like that. So. But with me, it ain't really about that so much. I don't have too many relationships with these guys in here, but I do have a few relationships, and that's good.
Ortiz and Ruiz might be a relationship that you've shown a lot of love to both, but you may get in the ring with either one. Maybe that possibly Ruiz, Ortiz, 3. Is that?
Oh, that could very well happen. You know what I mean? I love that guy, man. We done built, you know, fighting a person can make a relationship a strong bond, a brotherhood, you know what I mean, if it's done right and if it's for the great intentions of good, you know what I mean, and giving him that opportunity, man, you know, it's an amazing feeling for me to be able to say I helped him in a time of need with his family and his daughter, because I can relate to him and his daughter, maybe not in the same way, but in a different situation. And being able to say, I gave this man an opportunity with it. I didn't have to. He wasn't my mandatory, or he wasn't lined up to fight me. I only gave it because I saw other fighters ducking him and didn't want to fight him and made excuses by he old. So fucking what? He's in this business to fight. That age don't mean nothing.
Beat his old ass then.
Damn, me beat his old ass then. Give him a try. You know what I mean? Because if we didn't know how old we were, then how would you feel? What if we didn't understand? Then we had to keep up and knew how old we were. Then how would people feel? You're as young as you feel then. You feel me? Well, blessings.
We still got to get that Mortal Kombat fatality. I didn't forget, man.
What's going on, baby? Everything good, man? Blessings. Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Don.
I'll text you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Don't let you stay in the gym too long, man.
I know. Thank you for coming.
Hey, D, thank you, man.
I don't work out.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Please, before you leave, something for your Mexican fans, always.
For all my Mexican fans, man, I love you so much. And thank you for the love and support that you've given me over the years, and we're back. The Sombrero is back and ready to go.
Maybe you have a part of Mexican in your soul.
Yeah, most definitely.
God bless. Good to see you always. Let me give one
It's good to see him.
Good energy, huh?
Yeah, just same.
Cabrón este peleador. King Kong Ortiz es de lo mejorcito, escuchen. Gracias, Remy. La técnica, la regulada, giro de izquierda de atrás.
Coming from a week, it's different. You gotta make your own, man.
Ese golpe lo tiene muy hecho el King. Gira la pierna, está excepcionalmente bien. Vean eso, veloz, fuerte, de punch. Es muy difícil con tan derechos de venta. Creo que son 50-50. O ligeramente favorito, pero los factores, este peleadorazo pueden ser muy peligrosos para Paisano. Se simbra el chocolate de la brinca. Voy a recargar el teléfono de la cuerda para que ustedes vean cuando él brinca cómo se mueve. Esto recargado en la cuerda. Sientan el poder. Vean de manera constante. Se mueve. No lo vamos a matar. Vamos a tocar un poquito. Corte de mano. Que a mí me apasiona la manera de caminar. El tema de la cintura. Ah, qué bonito. Golpe, gato.
Thank you, Deontay.
Sit on you about that.
How's the power feel, Hernan? How's it?
Feels good. Right in my hand. These are the big puffy ones that hurt.
Give me the ball.
He doesn't have to load up either, huh?
The thing with Lewis is not so much, he hits hard. And I've trained a lot of heavyweights. He hits hard. But it's very precise. It's very exact, right where it needs to be.
The right way, the hand position. He's driving knuckles in. That's what kills it.
Eso es lo que lo hace peligrosísimo. La técnica es
Coño, la recha. Coño.
Stay with it.
Bucket.
I don't know if Andy can move like the cube, and move with the cube. I don't know if he can do that. I say he got speed behind me.
Nothing.
Yeah, good, nice. That was my fault. Go.
Hey, it's coach.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
No, don't touch me.
You mean Hawking?
No.
Yeah, good fighting.
Go over there.
Ortiz here in Las Vegas. Let's get Martin, the boxer, back in here, our translator. Let's work on and get a final couple of words from Luis Ortiz. Luis, you are a southpaw. I know that Andy Ruiz has fought various styles before. Do you think that being a southpaw is going to give Andy some issues?
Is he a natural? No. He's throwing it. Yeah. He looked at it for a second. Power jab.
No sé, no,
Strong
no sé, yo voy a hacer mi trabajo. No sé si le causará. Lo que le va a causar trabajo es mi trabajo.
I really don't know. I'm going to focus
He was throwing it like it was his.
job, and what's going to cause him trouble is what I do instead of him, regardless of the score.
Assuming you get your hand raised on Sunday, September 4th, is the next step to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world? You have AJ.
He's a good guy too, man. Classy guy too.
But do you want the winner of that fight?
All fighters they're okay, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's easy to say about a lot of the guys.
We got the best athletes, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. It's a very humbling sport.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of the reason.
Con muchos pesados, pero pega muy cabrón, se nota la pegada.
Sí, está durísimo y preciso, como estaba diciendo ahorita.
Claro.
No es tanta la fuerza, si la tira duro, no te digo que no, pero la pone precisa exactamente donde tiene que ir.
On Sunday, September 4th on FOX Sports PBC Pay-Per-View.
Los nudillos. Claro. ¿Sabes qué me impresiona? La manera como...
The most shocking moment I've ever heard at a fight was... What's up, fellas? No. With his fight at the Boots fight.
I know you want to ask me about my other fighter that's over in Saudi Arabia right now.
Yeah, which
Which
one?
Tabiti, you know I help with Tabiti.
Yeah, he's how come he not over there? Oh well,
Ruiz.
you gotta get ready for Ruiz.
He
Yeah.
would do a fit.
Why'd you leave?
No, but he's got to be. There was a time where most people thought he had the fastest hands of cruiserweight, the most.
Tabiti still is a lethal threat, highly lethal. The guy he's fighting is a big body James Wilson. You know, Tyson-esque. You know, wants to have the erratic head movement and all that stuff. But I still Tabiti. Key to victory to Tabiti is the jab, baby. It's the jab.
Are you working with him alongside Otis too?
Yeah, I assist with him. So, I assist with the Tabiti. For the most part, all of Otis fighters. Kevin Johnson, Jahan Ingram. Not really Dorian Kahn, but Dorian Kahn is part of the team.
Super talented kid.
And of course Tabiti.
What do you think? Because again, we've always...
and Jeremiah Milton, heavyweight. Jeremiah Milton.
I've heard good things
Jeremiah
about him.
Milton,
Did Top Rank sign him?
I'm not sure.
I heard he was, getting a hard look from all the big promoters.
I feel like I missed another Otis fighter. Antonio Zepeda heavyweight too.
Yeah.
Antonio Zepeda.
What is he, 4-0 now? 5-0?
Yes. And I got, of course, I got Ruiz and then my cousin Kamari Burnside. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but what to Tabiti though, since he's fighting this Saturday, we've always known he has a talent. So what's he got to do to put it? What exactly does he got to put together that he hasn't, quite yet?
Just believe.
Right.
It's more of a mental thing. Because I don't care what nobody say. This sport is more mental than physical. Point blank. Period. Training camp is going along. You're trying to get conditioning, but people forget you got to condition this too. So once he executes here, it's a wrap. But he has a tough opponent. And that head movement, we're gonna see what it's really about. But I believe that Tabiti's fundamentals and technique will get him to the finish line.
Is that sometimes what you encounter with the big, strong guys? Is they're actually the ones sometimes that lack that belief that
Yeah, I think it's an American thing sometimes. A lot of our larger men were told as kids, don't be so rough, don't do this. And I think that's been a detriment to them when they got older. So
don't pick on anybody.
Don't pick on nobody. Things like that.
So they get the gentle giant syndrome.
Because the ones that don't become gentle giants, where are they at? Behind bars.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, man. And how do you see the main event going? Ruiz and Ortiz.
It's going to be a tough fight, but I got to go with Andy. Me and Andy went to Barry's boxing together. Okay. I know Andy because I'm going to go with the hand speed. But to me, still skill-wise, I still think Ortiz has the skill advantage. But hand speed advantage, I'll give it to Andy.
Yeah, he's got youth too, man.
Youth too, yes, as well.
And then for Ruiz, I asked him this too, man. Is he the most duck guy at 122?
I don't like to use the word duck for political purposes, but yeah, he's the most avoided. Because a lot of these guys we were supposed to fight 3 years ago. Didn't happen. We were you already know this mandatory for 2 years. Mark Medaliev, nothing. Now we have a regional belt, NABO belt, and we number 6 fight for number 1 again. Of course, Fulton is fighting Neary, from what I'm hearing.
Right.
And
still coming off a loss pretty recently.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, man.
Against a guy he already beat. But keep winning, keep staying undefeated.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, because Ruiz has good health, low mileage. And we just waiting for that. We wait for that call. But like I told them earlier, Magic Mike is a good dance partner, but we dance a little better, baby. So
Mike Plania.
Yep.
Yeah. But thank you, Coach Bobby.
Appreciate it.
And to your credit, man, we're seeing you grow too today on the mitts.
Thank you.
That was very Roger-esque,
Yeah, with Otis. Otis is my mentor.
Right.
And I've been around Floyd. Floyd. Roger is the main key of it all, but for the most part now, because Roger's gone, Otis has helped me a lot. Floyd has always helped as well when I'm present. So, thank you.
And you guys are keeping the jewels going.
Keeping the jewels
so they don't
going.
get lost.
Yes. But me, I mix it up. I can do it all.
Right.
I'm a textbook coach. I'm a flow coach. I'm everything. You don't want to be one-dimensional.
Right.
Yes.
It was good to see you today.
Thank you. Appreciate
Coach
it,
Bobby.
man. Appreciate it. Noble Art Training, Split T Boxing.
Good to see you, bro.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, you got to ask him. I mean, I would salute.
See you, Ray.
Appreciate it, Sean, as always, man.
Take care, bro.
Thank you, sir. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, man. Trying.
Because at the end of the day,
What's going on?
and stay in it.
That would make a It just looks clear when you're talking about offering your services. I mean, if I have someone boxing anywhere, I don't think anybody can say you got the history of it. It's not still there. Well, I was just checking the It's because it's been. It's been under like and made for everybody that's making money. It's like they're not for the fight.
Anybody at 135 can't get the fight. And then they say, oh, sometimes it doesn't look good. Yeah, you got to say, you know what? 7 days.
They say if we can connect in some way. Can you see yourself going into
See you, Hafey.
See you. Saturday morning.
What's on the league?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I enjoy seeing you on the platform.
Thank you.
First,
man. In the head.
I'm sure.
Genius after really, helping be a part of, let's call it the best heavyweight fight of the new millennium.
Yeah.
So
Something I'm not really, it's a good thing coming from a fan standpoint. But like I always say, I'm gonna stick to these guns. I don't want Deontay in fight of the year. I want him to be fighter of the year. I don't want him in fight of the decade. I want him to be fighter of the decade, coming from an intelligence standpoint, mixed with his already valence. So that's a good thing. He was in a trilogy. There was war, back and forth. I want Deontay to dominate. You know what I mean? Fuck all that taking punches, going back and forth. I want him to be fighter of the decade and be fighter of the year. So that's my perspective on that.
Well, we definitely saw the improvements in fight number 3. But you know, as a boxing historian, the question after a fight like that is either fighter going to be the same? And what do you say to that, Malik, for Deontay October 15th?
I would say, as far as the question, as far as are fighters the same after fights like that, it all depends on the fights they had way before that and the damage they took way before that. So I would say before that fight, the only, you could say, damage Deontay took, in my humble opinion, was the second fight with Fury. Deontay never was in really, Ortiz gave him a hell of a run for his money, especially that first fight.
Right.
But besides that, he didn't really have no wear and tear. If he do have wear and tear, it come from all the rounds in the gym and stuff like that. So I don't think there's going to be no difference in his strength. I actually think he's going to be stronger. I think he's going to be more agile concerning agility, coming from an agility standpoint. And he's working hard now. I can't speak for Fury and how he's going to be, if or when, whatever he's going to do if he comes back. But Deontay's going to be just fine because he wants it. You know what I mean? And he's extremely mentally tough. So, even if it was that, Deontay wouldn't even allow himself to be damaged from those kind of, fights like that. So it's going to be good, man.
So everything's still snapping in the gym, the speed.
Yes. And the good thing is Don House has put an emphasis on the condition, the output, the
punches
running.
per round.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Deontay is working at a very, very high level now that he never worked at before, and he's learning. I'm teaching and learning, and we on this mission together, and second reign, we on the way for it.
You know, as the fight got announced, first of all, I'm like, props to Deontay, because he could have fought a short, stubby guy, right. You know, no threat. But he's fighting a tall guy who's going to be in range to hit him anytime he can hit him.
Absolutely. And you got to keep in mind, Calvin Prices of the world, they was tall like him. But Gerald Washington, who is one of my fighters now, very talented fighter, he has some height on him. Furies had some height like him, so he won't be new to fighting guys long. I just wanted to be done. I wanted to be done surgically, like we all know. I wanted to be done with calm and patience, and I want him to look extremely good. And I believe he's going to do that and pass every test with flying colors. Deontay could do anything he wanted to do in the ring, and I'll stick by that. Whether it's boxing, showing skill, showing a shotgun jab, you know, being responsible, being defensively responsible, and whatever it is he want to do in the ring, he can do. And me, Don House, JD's, Cuz Hill, we all want to make sure that we're pushing him to the limit and getting the best out of him come fight night.
Well, he was talking to us about disguising the right hand a lot, and that they're not going to see it coming now.
Absolutely.
And I get you can't give away tools of the trade, but what could you explain about that?
Coming from that camouflage in the right hand, well, we'll say like coming from that standpoint, it's about creating a comfortable environment. It's about making someone think everything is okay in the ring, making someone think that you're not really thinking about their head. You're looking here, but you're hitting up top. You could disguise and camouflage your shrimps in so many different ways, and I think Deontay has reached a point that he understands that everyone know my strength.
Right.
I'm going to keep my strength, but I'm going to camouflage it. How do he camouflage that? He camouflaged that with craftsmanship. He camouflaged that with high-level, believable feints. He camouflaged that by doing so many other things that comes with his arsenal, his attributes. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many things he can do to camouflage the right hand. Like I said, me, Don House, JD's, and Cuz Hill, we're going to do everything we can to make sure he stick to a game plan, get an incredible, electrifying knockout coming from a surgical standpoint, coming from up behind a system of a disciplined game plan. You know what I mean? And not just going out there doing what you want to do.
Well, you said the magic word, knockout.
Absolutely. We know what comes with Deontay.
Well, it's
electric.
Well, what's funny is, and the fight gets announced, okay, they're longtime sparring partners, but then I see you walk in, I go, well, wait a minute, Deontay didn't waste no time with Malik Scott, so I guess I don't have to worry about any mercy being taken on a sparring partner. Is that right, Malik?
Right. Well, yeah, you could say that. It's like Deontay, how can I put it? I've never seen, personally, and I've been in this since I've been 12 years old, I've never seen no fighter in the heavyweight division with 20-ounce gloves on do what I've seen Deontay do to fighters with 20-ounce gloves on. I'm talking about out cold. I'm talking about going into seizures. I'm talking about having to go to the emergency room. I'm talking about having to go home.
On stretchers, right?
Yes, it's been, I've seen some very, very bad stuff.
Your son got traumatized by it once.
Yes, you remember that, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's just who he is. He has a violent mindset. He had the point of his life and career that he's more relaxed now. He understands that, I want to do this surgically. I want to be smooth with this. I want to camouflage like he told you. So I'm happy he's in that space, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure he stick to it, that everything is coming from a systemized game plan, and that he's being disciplined to get a very electrifying knockout.
Are you interested at all to see how your guy gets hit? You don't want him to get hit, but you know what I mean, to see how he reacts? Or have you seen it in sparring already?
No, if it wasn't for Deontay's mentality, if it wasn't for my belief in Deontay's chin, if it wasn't for, he got one of the best chins to me in the heavyweight division. It goes underrated because he's just one of those guys, how can I put it, he's on a pedestal, so any little thing that happens with him, people judge to the marginal level, like, you know what I mean? So it's almost like, if you think about how many times he's been down, and at the point of his career he's been down, it's been very, very late against another high-level fighter like Fury. So it's things like that I'm not worried about. Obviously, when the heavyweight division, anything can happen, but Deontay taking a punch or his ability to be able to take a punch in there, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about what we get ready to do to the opposition, and what we get ready to do to the opposition is very surgical, and it's going to be electrifying, another knockout for Deontay.
Just speaking of Fury, you think he's really done? You think he's really going to vacate the title and walk away?
I'm not even concerned with it because he's such a hot and cold type of guy. All right, brother. He's such a hot and cold type of guy that it's like One day is this, one day is that. So we just have to see it. We just have to see it, right? Anything Fury says, personally, I said I don't believe. I believe Fury when I see him. He's not fighting to me until I see him in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing nothing until I see it. Even if he signed a contract or whatever that is concerning retirement, I just don't believe. He's a hot and cold type of guy. That has worked for him, and it made him as great as he has became. But as far as believing anything he's saying as far as retiring or not, is none of my business. My business is Deontay Wilder, my business is Gerald Washington, and my business is going to be all the fighters that I'm going to be training in the future.
Well, I don't want to ask too much about things, but you know, Usyk Joshua too.
Usyk Joshua too, yes.
I believe you picked Usyk the first time, right?
Yeah, I picked Usyk
You pick him again?
Yes, I pick him again in a much more imposing fight coming from Joshua, but I think it may work against Joshua, so I'm going with Usyk by knockout between 9 and 11 rounds.
Yeah, do you know, to get technical for a second, do you think Usyk's thinking it's predictable he's going to try to go to the body with Garcia, and I'm a counter hard to the head, things like that? You know,
Definitely,
yeah.
Because with all due respect, and I say this in very good respect for the Cole Garcia family, but they specialize and come forward being very front foot heavy.
Well, everyone's saying that's what he's got to do. That's what everybody's
Absolutely.
saying.
So you put one and one together. Joshua's saying mindset, kill. He hired Garcia. They're coming straight forward. They're going to be very front foot heavy, and I just believe with someone like Usyk who specializes and fight big guys very, very well, I think that it's going to play against them. And like I said, I'm going with Usyk by stoppage. My rounds might be off between 9 and 11, between 8 and 11, but I'm going in a very competitive. And it's going to be, Joshua's going to try more and be more imposing, but I think it's going to play against him, and I think Usyk is going to make him reach, and Usyk is going to be doing a lot of teaching. So it's going to be good. It's all good for the division.
What would your game plan be, though, if you had Joshua? Because obviously your game plan for Deontay against Usyk would be different than Joshua, different fighters, but what should Joshua do?
My game plan is almost concerned with Deontay. My game plan is the same for everybody. Create a comfortable environment.
You think Deontay would line up Usyk, even with all that head movement and feints, and he could line him up for that right hand, knock him out?
I think anyone Deontay hit flesh, bro. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a matter of lining this guy up. You think you'll line him up?
And you got to realize he'll have to go about it, and to me, in a much more up-tempo way with Usyk, because I'm the first one to say Alexander Usyk, in my opinion, especially someone that I've been in the ring with, is the most technically sound craftsmanship guy I've ever boxed. And now, coming from a coaching standpoint, I'm not only boxing when I was in Dubai, but I'm actually watching them. I'm coaching guys going against them. So it's like it's coming from more of a competitive spirit, because I'm training Deontay, I'm coaching guys in the training camp that's actually boxing them. So I'm seeing things a little different. But he's a mastermind in the ring. Him and Deontay, if he beats Anthony Joshua, I think him and Deontay is a good fight. I think Deontay and AJ will forever be a good fight until they get in the ring.
They don't even got to fight for belts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Joshua could lose, and I still want to see that.
That's what I'm trying to say. So it's good for the division either way it goes, man. But my responsibility and my job is to have the most dangerous man on the planet, Deontay Wilder, at high-level boxing, being intelligent, being surgical, and staying violent.
Well, he said he wants to be unified, undisputed again, so that means you guys are on their ass, right?
Absolutely, he will be. He will be. It's all up to him. Whatever it is he wants to do in this game, he can do it.
And lastly, Malik, man, thanks so much for your time.
All good, man. You're my brother, and I'm proud of everything that you're doing.
Thank you, Malik. There's this little fight we're all hoping gets made called Crawford-Spence.
Yes, this little fight. Yeah.
And I was wondering, do you like the younger, bigger, stronger guy, or the older, more versatile counterpunching guy? Who are both great.
I'm going into the fight from a 50-50 standpoint. My reason why is, besides the obvious, that they both high-level fighters, I'm looking at the coaching system, and they both have a very good, I favor more Spence coaching system.
He's becoming the more decorated coach, the more proven guy.
Yes. So I'm very big on Derek and the way he go about his training, the way he go about his system, the way how he, he's zoning on fundamentals, and he believes in keeping everything. What's the word? He focuses on simplicity. That's what I'm trying to say. He doesn't do an overhaul of different things. And what I love the most about him is everything I see Spence do on the pads, that same system get transferred into fight.
Right.
Hands up, small steps, left to the right, high hand up this way, left hand up this way, and he goes forward, he goes back. And to me, that's the definition of a very, very great fighter. Can you box forward? Can you box backwards? Can you box going to your left? Can you box going to the right? Like I watch so many different guys do everything well going to their left. That's why if you notice when I'm training guys, I'll say, give me 4 jabs going this way. Okay, now I want those same 4 jabs going this way. Now back up and give me them jabs. Come forward, give me them jabs. Because you'd be surprised. I'm talking about even at the highest level, guys that cannot box, going to their left, going to their right, going to that, like they just can't. Because they're used to having things their way going one side. And the only time that they get exposed is when they get in there with a fighter that has a good corner, that sees, oh, he has problems going to his right. Cut that off with a 3-2. He has problems going to his left. Cut that off with a 2-3 or whatever it is. And then by the time that time comes, it's too late. And guys take losses. Guys get knocked out. Guys lose decisions. Whatever it is it may be. So, I don't know. It's a 50-50 fight. But coming from a coaching standpoint, I favor the coaching system of Derek with Spence more than I do Crawford. But Crawford is a dog, man.
Yeah, he's looked at as the more versatile guy. We know Spence, he's like Tim Duncan. He's the big fundamental. No one's more fundamentally sound.
Yes.
But does Crawford figure that out?
I believe. Oh, it's such a touchy fight, man. It's such a touchy fight. It's a fight I wouldn't bet on. You know, I'm not that confident either or winning like that. And that's good for boxing. That's good for entertainment. We are in a fight. We have a fight coming up between these two guys that no one can really, even experts don't even know who's going to win this fight. And that's what elevates the game.
Is that in the stoppage? You think?
I can't see that.
Okay.
I can't see that.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I really don't know. The kick I get out of is I'm going to have so many rounds to film study. That's my reward from fights like that. I don't really like to pick fights and say who I predict. My goal is to get high-level matchmaking, better matchmaking done in boxing, which would elevate boxing even more. Coming from a coaching standpoint, coming from fighters becoming better. The matchmaking has to steps up. The matchmaking also has to steps up because guys film study great fights. So if guys are not allowed to film study great fights because great fights aren't going on, the game is not elevating. It's kind of declining because guys can't even really study. With this type of fight right here, oh, this is film study heaven. I can film study it over and over again, break it down 23 minutes per round, and really geek out on it. So that's the part I'm looking forward to. As far as the prediction, yeah, I may favor Spence and Derek more because but none of that really matters coming from a personal standpoint. I'm just happy they're fighting. I'm happy the matchmaking is high level. I'm happy that the skills is high level. It's not like we're watching one guy that all he know how to do is punch. This guy, all he know how to do is go to the body. They both are very well balanced. And it's a perfect fight for geeks like me that like to nerd out and geek out over good boxing like this.
Go ahead, have your wine glass with your lady. I know that's what you like. Does she watch the film with you sometimes?
No, I do that wrong.
Okay.
She wants to, but I just don't do that. I go on my own
Zen mode.
It's a part of my Zen.
Even if Deontay wants to watch it with you?
Oh, no.
He can watch it.
Oh, yeah, so
Okay.
we will watch it. What fight did we watch together? Was it Crawford? No, it was Spence and Ugas. We watched that together. Yeah. So,
But thank you so much, Malik. Just good to catch up with you, brother. Looking forward to October 15th, seeing you in New York. Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Thank you, brother. And, man,
So we can man, let me know if you want to
I was going to ask. You know, I'm shy. I don't always like,
you can't be with me no more.
Yeah,
Come on,
good,
fuck off, bro.
Good.
Yeah.
You know, it's work at the end of the day, and I know y'all don't want too many people running around.
But it's you.
Yeah.
We've been doing it's years.
Thank you, Malik.
But I get what you're saying, but that doesn't go for
Right.
you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, whenever it's good for you.
Yeah.
It's
We'll set it up this
2
week.
months until the fight, so any day that it could work.
No, but I want you to get us here while we have the UFC.
Yeah.
Because we're going to finish playing now, so get us here.
Okay, I will. Yeah.
We'll keep in touch, bro.
Okay, I'll text you, Malik. Thanks, Malik.